Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Xanda, and we are back again talking about MegaMan. What I wanted to do this week was go over some things that MegaMan Battle Network actually predicted. One thing that is kind of hard to wrap your head around, it's kind of hard to understand how well Battle Network actually predicted our future. MegaMan Battle Network 1 came out at like the turn of the century. At the time, it was doing a lot of things that were considered like futuristic and crazy and cool. And nowadays, most of the things that it has introduced are either real or very close to being real. So I wanted to talk about like 5 things that I feel like it predicted really well and like genuinely kind of like exist in our world. Pretty obvious. Smartphones. Duh. Not really too surprising. Really, it did a good job of predicting it. The PETs, or pets, were based off of a mixture of a PDA and like a cell phone, which at the time, your cell phone just made calls. I think you could text at this point. I'm pretty sure texting was a thing, but really your cell phone was like making calls and that was pretty much it. Your PDA was like a personal assistant. You could check your calendar, you could store important notes to yourself and all that other kind of stuff. These were completely separate devices back in 2000, especially 2001 when Battle Network 1 came out. With the PETs being this mixture of everything, you know, you have your calendar, you can get email, you can send messages, you can do video calling, you can do phone calls in general. All that stuff you can do in the modern smartphone and then some. And I just find that really fascinating. I think it's something that you can kind of like take for granted almost. How that really is and like what is in our pockets nowadays, like how crazy that is in just the sense of being like 20 years later. Smart homes and smart devices, even as far as like I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, the idea of like a toaster or a refrigerator being able to connect to the internet sounded like a stupid idea, and I still think it is, but it is a real thing. Smart devices are here. They are still not as common as they are in Battle Network. They are nevertheless a thing that exists and is common. Like there are smart refrigerators. For some reason they can connect to the internet, and for some reason, you know, you can do things like browse the web or open up an app on your LG smart refrigerator. They kind of flop. I don't think smart devices are that popular or that common nowadays, but that was a thing and it is possible. So, you know, this did predict it before, so there's that. A more connected internet. This is kind of innocuous. Like the idea that like all of us would be connected via the internet is something that's so common in the modern day, especially now with the advent of social media. To think that it wasn't a thing just a short amount of years ago is almost a little weird. That is something that it did predict, a more connected internet where people from all over the world could genuinely talk to each other immediately without any like delay. Internet was still very new at this point. This idea that like all of us are actually connected in the way that we are now was not really like that before. Like we were connected, we were starting to become connected, but the way we are now, this did a great job of showing that there are essentially societies that exist on the internet. Especially the idea of like being able to hang out with friends on the internet and talk to them in real time. That wasn't a thing back in the 2000s. Xbox Live, I don't even think existed yet by the time Battle Network 1 was released. The idea of being able to go online and play with friends online and like being able to hang out with them and play games and stuff like that and talk to them was like a far-off dream at this point. This one is actually like one of my favorites. Tap to pay. I remember in, I believe it's the Battle Network movie, Lan uses his PET to pay for his rail ticket. It's not the fact that he has this card like on the back of his PET or anything. No, the PET itself was able to pay for his fare. And that is something that like is fairly modern. Like that didn't start, like tap to pay didn't start showing up until like maybe, I want to say like 5 or 6 years ago is when it started becoming more common where you can just tap to pay for practically anything. Japan's rail system is a lot more advanced than America's rail system. In New York, for example, they just added the ability to tap to pay to get into a train. Just the idea that like your PET was a device that could also store money on it, or you could be able to pay for something on it. That's really cool. Like to see like we can do that now. Like every time I tap to pay for anything, I always think of that moment from the movie. I'm not even joking. AI assistants. Siri and Google's assistant is far off from a NetNavi. With the more recent advancements in AI technology with ChatGPT, Google's Bard, or even Snapchat's Snap AI, the idea of having like a assistant slash friend to talk to on the internet and have it do things for you or help you with things like homework is pretty much here. We are in the advent of the future. It is the year 20XX. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a quick video. This is a quick, like, little weird video talking about these things, because I've always thought about this when it came to Battle Network. And thanks to the collection, and thanks to me playing through the games, I have been seeing things that I'm like, wow, like, it's kind of crazy that, like, most of this stuff does actually exist in the modern day. Let me know what are some other things you feel like Battle Network predicted that I didn't mention in this video. Huge shout out to my patrons and my members. I appreciate it very much. If you're liking the Sunday special, kind of MegaMan slash not Digimon type videos, make sure you do subscribe. I make videos twice a week. If you like this, more Digimon stuff, more Mega Man stuff. Beyblade just announced some big announcements too, so be excited for that. I might be showing off some Beyblade X stuff. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see you guys next week. Take it easy, take care of yourselves, and as always, peace.